Hey everyone, it's Casey and Angie and Cindy and Haley, and we are nurses that are all about creating change physically, financially, time-wise, relationships, everything. And so we just put this little hangout together to kind of give you guys an idea of how cellular cleansing and nursing can go really great together. So my story, I started just to lose 10 pounds when I started cellular cleansing back in September of 2012. And so I'm coming up on my 2-year mark, and I can tell you it changed every single area in my life. I wasn't really opposed to the business. I know you're going to hear some stories tonight on our live chat that some people were, but I wasn't closed off to it, but I really wasn't, looking for something either. But I was really blown away by my health transformation that I had. I mean, who doesn't want to release 12 pounds in 30 days without working out? As a night shift nurse, I was living on Red Bull, coffee, Diet Mountain Dew, just to function. And so then I had all this energy, and then the more research I did, the more passionate I became. And, we all have gone through the nights, holidays, weekends, missing Christmas with my little nephew. I know parents, that are nurses, moms and stuff went through that also. So I just love what Isagenix has, given me. I don't have children, but I've been able to now travel and give back and sponsor kids around the world. And, this really is a great business for nurses. It's just amazing to be able to give health too. I was a nurse for kids with cancer, and I saw them, losing their lives. I was throwing my health away. But when I really started to learn about the power of nutrition, it almost became where I couldn't even, it was like an internal struggle to just, hang chemo or to give medication. That's really what fueled my passions. I wanted to start educating people about nutrition and healthy lifestyles instead of just Band-Aids anymore. I've been able to now generate a 6-figure income. To make 5 figures a month, that never happened in nursing. I don't care how much overtime I did, it never did. And so we just put this together for if any of you are, using the products currently, you're nurses, and you want to take a look at the opportunity from our heart to your heart. It can change every single area in your life. So I'm going to just start out, that's kind of my story, and it's amazing the friendships that you build and bond. I knew Haley from work, but I didn't even know Angie or Cindy, and now, they're some of my very best friends. So I'm going to start out, and Cindy, she's an amazing, amazing woman. She's a mom. She's a wife. She's a nurse. She still nurses. I think PRN. I'm going to let her get into all that. But just a heart of gold. And she came and she saw me present, and I'll kind of let her just share her story and the business and what she's been able to do with it. But it's truly amazing. So Cindy, are you with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can. Take it away.
Hey, everybody. My name is Cindy Murphy, and I started Isagenix in June of last year, so June of 2013. And I actually was somewhat opposed to the business. I really wasn't even thinking about it being a business. I just wanted to take off some weight. And I ended up going to a party with a friend of mine, a nurse friend of mine, that's also doing this business, and I was just really impressed with everything I saw. And afterwards, I remember Casey was the one hosting the party. She came up to me and actually asked me if I'd be interested in the business, and I was just kind of like, no, I'm a nurse. I don't ever want to do anything like that. But what happened with me is I've been suffering for a year. I had gone to the Caribbean, and for you nurses, you'll understand that I got bitten by a bug, and I got something that was very similar to dengue fever. I had rashes, terrible joint discomfort, and fevers as high as 104, 105. So I had been struggling for about a year, put on a lot of weight, started on this program to take off some of the weight, and what happened was all of those issues resolved for me. And I've been to every specialist in my city trying to get either, tell me what's wrong with me or fix it. And really, I just wanted them to fix it. I didn't need a name, and nobody could. So when I use cellular cleansing, and all these doctors that I admired so much, I still admire them, brilliant, brilliant people, doctors, when that didn't work and cellular cleansing did, I really, really did a lot of research, and I started really looking into the products and why they worked so well. And what I discovered was that this was just such optimal nutrition and it was just a new way of cleansing the toxins out of your body, and were also toxic. So what happened, and what happens with most nurses, is you work really closely with doctors and other nurses. They'd seen me suffer for about a year, and everybody just kind of wanted to jump on board because I had really good weight loss results as well. So a lot of people jumped on board, and it was kind of like, it just kind of started to happen. I certainly wasn't going to tell my friends, no, you can't do this. So I called Casey. I was like, okay, these people want to sign up. What do I do? And I started making money, and I thought, well, that's kind of cool. I can make some money doing this too. And then, my mom gave me a phone call, and she was actually crying. And she was concerned because she had recently retired and didn't have hospital benefits anymore. And my father had hit what they call the donut hole, which is when you have Medicare, and they have secondary insurance as well, but they had maxed out on the amount of money they would pay towards his prescriptions. And my dad's had a heart transplant and is on anti-rejection medication. So she was crying, saying she was going to have to go back to work. And here I was with this opportunity to make money. And I was like, you know what? I can help them with this. And so that's where it all began for me. And what has happened has been truly amazing. From a girl that absolutely was like so opposed to doing any kind of business, or I always felt like I wasn't good in sales. I think my dad actually told me, you're no good in sales. Don't ever go in sales, Cindy, because you'll end up giving everything away. And, that's why I think that this business is so good for nurses, just because you can't be some slick, sly salesperson to do this. You have to come from the heart. You have to have a heart of service, and every nurse that I know has a heart of service. That's really the trick. You want to help people, and that's what's happened. Like, I get texts almost every day from people thanking me for things that are life changing. Like, they're able to get on the floor and play with their kids again. They're able to come off medications just because their body's now getting the proper nutrition. And, they feel amazing. They sleep better. They don't have headaches anymore. Just really, really amazing texts that I get, calls I get, thank yous that I get, and it's been such a blessing. And the blessing continued. I kind of had a reason to start to help my mom and dad. And so I started focusing on it as opposed to other things. It was hard when I started. I wanted to help the people that were asking for help, but I was in school furthering my nursing education at the time and working full time, and I have a husband and a son. So, it was kind of one of those things I really had to fit it in the pockets of my time. And what ended up happening was after I graduated with that further degree in nursing, I put some more effort into it to just see what would happen. And in January, I went to an event that absolutely changed everything. I was able to see the big picture and what it could do for me. And so since January of this year, I really, really focused on this business and decided I was going to do everything I could to succeed at it. And I'm actually at a place where I'm making about $10,000 a month now. I was able to retire my husband, and then I went part-time when I retired him as a nurse. And then I've just recently turned in my resignation as a part-time nurse, and I will now be working PRN 2 days a month. So, and we have a 9-year-old that really doesn't want to go to daycare. He likes being home with his mom and dad, and we'll be able to do more with him as well. So it's truly been a blessing. And I'm going to tell you, nurses, you're already built for it. That's the thing. You're built for this business because you don't have to sell, you just have to care. And that's the bottom line. That's the truth. And caring in this business will make you a lot more money than nursing will. And I didn't know that was possible, but it is so possible. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. I always say that. I tell everybody that. If anybody can do it, I never would have thought I could, but I absolutely can. And I don't give everything away. I don't have to because it's got such a great value. And Casey, thank you so much for having me on this call. I appreciate it. And I guess I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Awesome. I just love your story so much. And I remember You might want to go ahead and mute out Cindy's background. But I remember Cindy when she first started this, because you heard her. I mean, she was doing all that working and had a child and school, and she'd have to go lock herself in the bathroom, and we do like some three-way calls and stuff. And so it started out slow, but then it kept building and building, and that's what I love is about the unity and the teamwork of this business. The next person that I'm going to bring on. Angie, I met her through Isagenix. She had been a product user. I'll let her share her story, but I mean, and Angie and I, we're not even financially linked, right? This is what I love about this business, though, is it's all about helping each other. And she's got such an amazing husband, and she's a wonderful mom. She's fashionista. Oh my gosh! Like if I could just have just like 1/8 of her sense of fashion. I see the Cindy shaking her head like, yeah. So she does a lot, and she's so passionate. I'm just gonna let you share your story, Angie, and why you feel like nurses would just love the Isagenix A products and B business and what it's done for you.
Casey, you are so funny. Fashion, yes, that is my passion, along with health and nutrition, and that's one of the reasons. I was an OR nurse for 10 years full-time, and then I had my daughter, and I went part-time and then PRN. And fashion is part of my story in that I got tired of wearing the hat, mask, and shoes, and I traded it all off for a fedora and some pumps. That's kind of a funny story. But anyway, I've always had a passion and a love for health and wellness for people ever since I was a child. That I knew then, probably at age 10, that I was going to be a nurse or in the medical field, in some way. A friend of mine was an OR nurse. Her mother was an OR nurse when I was a child, so I used to beg her, please let me go to the OR with you just one day. I just want to go, experience that. And of course I couldn't. I was too young, but I knew that I wanted to do that. And that's kind of just exactly what Cindy said. Nurses already have it in them. We have that caring and that want to help, other people. So about 3 years ago, 2011 of July, a good friend of mine called me, and she was doing product research for her son who was having health issues. He was, I think, maybe 8 at the time, and she had taken him to every, doctor around that she could find in the States. And she finally decided to look into health and wellness or nutrition, to help him with his health issues. And I know that she did a lot of research, so when she called and asked me if I wanted to, do this product with her, do this cleanse with her, I didn't even hesitate. I didn't even, really do a lot of my own research because I knew that she had already done that. So I jumped right on with her, thinking I was only going to do a 30-day cleanse and be done. But I fell in love with the products. I had an amazing product experience. I didn't have a whole lot of weight to lose at the time. I did lose a little bit, but it was all about the energy and the sleep, and my skin improved, everything, just from the inside out. I felt so much better. So I continued on the products for 2 years. Honestly, when I first started, didn't even really know this was a business, didn't know anything about the business, didn't know it was a business, and then about 1.5 years into it is when, we kind of discussed a little bit, okay, people started asking me, what are you doing? And I called my friend up and said, people are asking me, kind of like Cindy, like, what do I do with these people? And that's when we started looking into the business a little more, and I was just doing it to help people. Honestly, I wasn't doing it for money. I wasn't doing it at the time because I didn't know, I didn't even understand what kind of money was involved, in this type of business. So I started looking more into that, and it wasn't until the fall of last year that I hired, a success coach and started really thinking, okay, this could really, be a pretty good income for me, because when I started enrolling people, the money started coming, and I would call my friend up, Bridget, and I'm like, where's this money coming from? So that's kind of how I got involved in the business and went to my first event in January. But again, it's not all about making money. It was about when people started calling me, emailing me, texting me, telling me how this has changed their lives. And especially one person in particular, it's my husband's best friend, and he was, very sick. He had gone to his doctor. They wanted to send him straight to the hospital, from the doctor. And I just called him that night and asked him. I said, "Will you just give this a try?" And he, absolutely, I'll try whatever. And it's completely changed his life. And now that's what he says to people. You know, Angie's changed my life. It's not Isagenix has changed my life. Angie has changed my life. And that is such a good feeling to know that I'm not in the nursing field anymore. After my daughter was born, I went PRN. I don't work that much in the medical field anymore, but I still get that same feeling and gratitude of helping people. Just knowing, helping them to get healthy and well, and it's all through natural, resources. It's not the pills. It's not the red pill and the blue pill. It's not having to see them cut open in surgery every day, to remove gallstones and these type of things. It's all about giving them good nutrition for their body, and they're healing from the inside out, on their own. So that's the gratification that I get from it, and just helping people.
Thank you so much, Angie. I love you so much. It's just, and it's about helping people, and the money just follows. And I don't think anybody really goes into nursing to get rich. If you did, you might not have seen the paychecks lately. Kind of want to rethink that. Maybe CRNA. But and it became for me too. It really, I look at where healthcare is going. Right? And so then when I knew that I had this vehicle to help people physically, to help them, with their health. I mean, our health is our number one wealth. And, we always say that we don't cure, treat, or prevent anything. It's our bodies that are these miracles. And it's just, we're able to give it. It's easy. It's convenient, especially for working night shifts and flip-flopping and everything. And, I got really tired of just how charting everything became. And any nurse out there that works currently, and I know Haley, you can touch on this, like how much time is spent in front of that computer compared to like spending time with your patients. And I just love giving people a lifestyle that they can truly be healthy with. So next person I'm going to introduce is my dear friend Haley, and I'll let her share her story. Her mom's had great results, and she's very, very new. She just started working the business, I don't know, like what, 2 weeks ago or something? And it's been a wild, fast ride for her. So I'm so excited that she's decided to embrace the business of Isagenix. It's hard not to once you experience the products. She's also a military wife like I am. And, what I love is the ability to be able to do this business anywhere. I can be laying out and catching my tan and literally working on my phone, having my computer. The other day I was traveling and I have a little travel hotspot. I'm sitting there traveling in the car, doing a business, creating residual income, helping people. So Haley, share us, your story and kind of what's happened for you, and I'll mute myself out. Take it away.
Hey, love. Can you hear me? Okay, good. All right, well, I'm Haley. Wow, can I say my name? So I actually met Casey back in South Carolina. I was the tech to her pediatric oncology floor, and I was making extra money when I was a senior at South Carolina, at the University of South Carolina. And I loved peds. I loved all of our cancer kids. You really fall in love with them, just like Casey says. Like, your heart just melts for these kids. And I think, just working, I teched there for about a year, and just seeing a lot of the kids we love just, not make it was really hard. And when I graduated, I actually decided to work in pediatric intensive care, which was just the floor above her. So I would still see her on night shift, which was really awesome. She would bring kids up to me, or hopefully I brought kids down to her. And, I still saw her like slinging back Mountain Dew. And I mean, on night shift, you just eat a bunch of crap, honestly. Like, there's nothing good. Our cafeteria was terrible, for one, and I just was exhausted. I never wanted to get up before work and like cook a full meal or do anything. And I saw her like dabbling with Isagenix, and I was like, what is she doing? Like, what is this? And then I'd see her like post her pictures, and then I'd see her and I'd be like, what? Like, you didn't have any weight to lose. And I was like, all right. I got engaged. I was like, okay, I want to do this. Like, I'm getting married. I want to look good. I was like, I know I'm skinny. Everyone's like, you're already skinny. Like, you don't need to do this. So, of course, I was like, well, I really want to tone up. My husband's military. He looks good. He didn't even have to try. He always looks good. Lucky him. Girls, unfortunately, not so lucky sometimes. But So I went on it, and I lost about 10 pounds. And I just, you know, my skin was glowing. I felt great. I got up my energy back. I was sleeping good. And my mom was like, all right, you're not going to share. She was like, I have some weight to lose. Like, you're getting married. I have to look good, too. So she went on it and lost 60 pounds in about 2.5 months. And she's kept it off. So she's absolutely in love with it, which kind of trickled down to my family. My uncle went on it. He's a diabetic. He was a type 2, so that's where, you know, your body just stops making insulin, essentially. And, I mean, he doesn't even take insulin anymore. He doesn't take metformin. He doesn't take anything. So he's lost about 40 pounds, and it's changed his life. And it's just really incredible, like, everything that it can do. And so when I got married, I moved out to El Paso, Texas, very far from my comfort zone. I'm from North Carolina originally. And I didn't have anyone. I had my husband. And then he deployed. So I was like, well, this is awesome. And all I had was my nursing family. And really, when you work with them every single day, they become your brothers, your sisters. They become your mom, your dad. Like, you know, they're your family. And I would do this on night shift. And people would ask me, but, you know, I wasn't really, like, into the business side of it. I was like, you know, I still want to just keep looking good. My husband was doing it. I was sending him the shakes to Afghanistan. He loves them. He was getting, like, food poisoning, so I was like, oh no, like, this is not okay. So, and he had done them back at home. He was doing more of the athletes back. So finally, I guess I just was like, you know what? I'm watching her grow her business, and she came out here to visit one of her other friends that she's working with, and just completely got me motivated. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. Like, I have a lot of student loans. Like, you know, we want to go on trips. We're young. Like, we want to start saving now. And people don't even save like they used to anymore. Like, that's, people spend what they have. You have to, because of how expensive everything is these days. So, you know, she got me up to speed on everything. And everyone is like, all my friends are completely on board. If you're a nurse, for the most part, you want to feel good. Like, you want to look good. You know, you can't preach to patients about health and wellness if you don't have it yourself. So, you know, I got involved, and people kind of joined me, and I was, like, shocked. I signed up 10 people in 2 weeks. 10 people. Like, who does that? So, you know, I'm still new to it. Casey's still coaching me. You know, I'm listening to everyone's stories. I'm just really fired up right now. Like, I'm almost 24 years old. I'm young, and, you know, I want to do this forever. Like, I absolutely love it. I love how it makes me feel. So, kind of some of my gist.
So, Haley, so in your first week, I know you sent me a snapshot of your, like, first check once you started building it, and it was, what, like $997 for a week?
Yes.
Do you make that in nursing?
No, I don't, actually. That's sad.
Exactly, right? And so that's just and I mean, you know, I'm in the group, and so many of your friends that have done it, you know, all these other nurses that are joining you, and just the results that everybody's having so quickly and feeling great. And, you know, it is, and when we feel good, I mean, we can impact everybody's life. And, you know, and again, I do always love to do the disclaimer because, you know, we threw out some words and stuff. But Isagenix, we don't cure, treat, or prevent anything, right? But when your body releases 40 pounds of visceral fat, like, that does something. The science in Isagenix, as a nurse, it will engulf you. Like, it is just absolutely amazing. The clinical studies, the 50% more visceral fat loss, you know, than the heart healthy diet, the blood cell video, if you want to watch that. So whoever, you know, is sharing our stories with you, it's because they see something inside of you that, A, makes you love the product because you're a nurse, so they know that you're going to love the products. But then also, what if, right? What if you fall in love with these products? What if you don't want to have to miss Christmas mornings, right? What if you just want to get out of debt? What if you just want to pay off your student loans? Like, hey, I mean, student loans are astronomical. Maybe you have kids and you don't want them to have, you know, $100,000 of debt when they graduate. Maybe you just want to travel. maybe you just want to retire early. Maybe you love nursing and you want to do PRN. I loved nursing. I really did. It became an internal struggle for me because I got into so much holistic side of it. And for the record, it was Mountain Dew prior to Isagen. Right? So I did, man. I used to live on it. It was like chugging it and everything. And I was spending $250 a month at the Starbucks in the heart hospital, extra shots of espresso. And, I was doing it. So I guess when she saw that, she was like, okay, if Casey can give up her Mountain Dews, then this can't be that difficult. And I'm like with Cindy, if we can do it, if we can learn it, the team is amazing, the coaching, the group, the camaraderie. If we can do it, it's possible for anybody to do it. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You're not going to sit there. You actually do have to, enroll the people, show them the information, get them started. But you can do it in the pockets of your day. And just bless a lot of lives. And 80%, more than 83% of the people that you introduce Isagenix to, they're just going to use the products, right? And some of my biggest business builders have come from just using the products. I mean, I think almost all of them have. So I never discount anyone, that ever might want to do this business. But again, if you just want to use the products for a while, they can do that too. So nobody has to do this business. But, if you're somebody that wants more, because now, I think we all got in a place of kind of stopped dreaming for a while. At least I know I had, and, I've talked really close to Cindy about this too. You stop dreaming, you just get used to, okay, I got to work, 401k, that's it. Maybe I can retire and hopefully not be in debt. But, man, the sky's the limit with this. We have great presentations, on the webinars as far as how the compensation plan works and everything. But it really all does start with putting it in your body, experiencing it. And then, of course, after that happens, you're going to want to share it with the people you care most about. And, oh, my gosh, I just wanted to put, all my patients on Isagenix when I started. I was like, oh, no tube cheats, Isagenix. So does anybody else want to say anything? I know we're done. And, if you watched it, thanks so much for joining us. And Angie, Cindy, Haley, I love y'all. Thanks so much for sharing your story. And we do have a lot more nurses on the team. So, but everybody working or kids and stuff, us four were able to get together. So look forward to meeting so many of you guys watching this and joining the team. But I'm going to, so everybody just wants to unmute or last final words or say adios.
Thank you, Casey.
You're welcome.
Thank you
All right.
so much. I enjoyed it.
Thanks for coming. All right, y'all. So have a blessed day, and hopefully we'll see you in the team and maybe do some awesome building and presentations, because nurses rock in Isagenix. We're the best, right? Right. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.